Hey everyone, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Oral Reports. Now today, I'd like to talk about a movie that I blogged during early summer 2014, The Nut Job. Now, bash me if you want, but I found this movie to be an okay one, and of course, it was really nuts. I mean, no pun intended though. I mean, sure, the script was a bit mediocre, and some characters were a bit bland, especially Grayson being a bit annoying, as well as some things that were a tad mean-spirited. But still, the good things I can say about this movie is that the animation was pretty good. Heck, it was even better than the original short it was based on. Plus, some of the gags were really hilarious, and the Gundam-style dance during the end credits was a lot of fun. So, of course, because several audiences liked this movie, a sequel had to be made. But the question is it any good, or does it bomb like The Nut Shop did? Well, let's not waste any more time. Released on August 11th, 2017, the movie is The Nut Job 2, Nutty by Nature. So, let's get started, folks. Surly and his friends, Buddy, Andy, and Precious, discover that the mayor of Oakton City is cracking one big hustle to build a giant, yet quite shabby amusement park, which in turn will bulldoze their home, and it's up to them and the rest of the park animals to stop the mayor, along with his spoiled daughter, and a mad animal control officer from getting away with his scheme and take back the park. So, what are my thoughts on the movie? Well, this has got to be, without a doubt, the craziest and nuttiest animated sequel I've seen this year. No pun intended. But before I get ahead of myself on why I love this film, let's move on to Mustang notes. The film was directed by Cal Brunker. Also, Bob Barlin and Scott Bendy joined Brunker to write the screenplay. On January 23, 2014, The Nut Job 2 was announced with a theatrical release date of January 15, 2016. On April 11, 2016, the release date was pushed back to May 19, 2017. On May 25, 2016, Heitor Pereira was hired to score the film. Speaking of music, there are two badass musical hits that play in the movie, and they are Born to be Wild and Tick Tick Boom. Also, in my opinion, the animation is just as great as the first film. Plus, I like all the cartoonish gags and jokes that happen in this. Some of these can make folks think of the Looney Tunes in a way, but there are some parts of the movie that can be disgusting, like a dog barfing, things that can make folks cringe like a bobble-headed, well, doll, and a running gag from an exaggerating mouse. But, on the other hand, I'm glad that Grayson was taken out of this movie. I mean, he surely was annoying. But anyway, now that we're done with Mustang notes, let's move on to the characters and their voice actors. Our main character and leader of the Liberty Park animals, Surly, is voiced once again by Will Arnett, who has been in films like Monsters vs. Aliens, Horton Hears a Who, and Despicable Me. Surly is a purple squirrel who in the first movie was loathed by all the park's animals, but in this movie, Surly is now considered a hero for helping to save them from a dire food shortage that he had unintentionally caused. Also, Surly still has a clever sense of humor, and he is nicer than he was in the first film. And I still like his friendship with Buddy, his rat sidekick. Also, their backstory and how they met was really surprising. Next is Surly's love interest, Andy, a compassionate red squirrel voiced by Katherine Higgle, whom I only know from New Year's Eve. Andy's role in this movie is similar yet different from the first film. She prefers a more hard-working outlook on life. However, my favorite scene that she's involved with is when she uses a water pistol at a water game to fight off the humans, and when she uses a bulldozer to knock down the roller coaster. Next we have Precious, voiced again by Maya Rudolph, who has been in Strange Magic, Big Hero 6, Turbo, and the Emoji Movie. Precious is a pug dog who in the first movie was owned by the criminals Lucky and Fingers. In my opinion, Precious is still as likable as she was in the first movie. Plus, she has a habit of licking her friends. Oh, and speaking of which, her lick does manage to revive Buddy after he was knocked unconscious after falling off the mayor's house. Now let's move on to the new characters, starting with Mr. Fang, voiced by the kick-ass martial artist Jackie Chan, who has been in the 2010 Karate Kid movie, Around the World in 80 Days, and of course, Kung Fu Panda. Fang is the leader of a street mouse gang who hates being called cute due to his small size and big eyes. In my opinion, Fang is a real badass character, like when he stands and meditates on his tail, and when he uses a 6-inch punch. In fact, these mice learned martial arts by watching martial arts lessons on TV. Pretty similar to Madison from Splash or Key from Mars Needs Moms learning English by watching television. But anyway, Fang and his army made great supporting characters for Surly and his friends during the final climax. Next we come to our main villain, Mayor Percival J. Muldoon, voiced by Bobby Moynihan, who has been in films like Monsters University, Underdogs, and The Secret Life of Pets. Now, in this movie, this unscrupulous mayor of Oakton City, who only cares about profit like any insane politician, plans to destroy Liberty Park and replace it with a faulty amusement park named Libertyland. However, we do learn that sometime prior, Muldoon destroyed Mr. Fang's home and replaced it with a golf course. Sheesh. Talk about hurting animals and taking away their homes. Next we have the mayor's spoiled brat of a daughter, Heather Muldoon, voiced by Isabella Moner, who has been in the middle school movie, as well as voicing Ava in Kingdom Hearts Key. Anyway, this rich brat is pretty similar to most cartoon brats I've seen in films, like Princess Morbucks from the Powerpuff Girls or Darla Dimple from Capstone Dance. But, unlike them, Heather uses a slingshot to shoot at Surly and his friends. Another character I like to mention is the mayor's French bulldog, Frankie, voiced by Bobby Cannavale, who's known for being in films like Ant-Man and the stupid 2014 version of Annie. But later, he'll be in the upcoming Ferdinand movie and Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. Anyway, there's not much to say about this dog, other than the fact that he falls in love with Precious, and makes up a word called Freshous that the internet might use in the future. Anyway, let's move on to my final words. Overall, The Nut Job 2, Nutty by Nature, is a really crazy sequel. The animation is zany. The main characters like Surly, Buddy, and Andy and Precious are lovable, memorable, and funny. The new characters like Mr. Fang are badass. And the villains, Mayor Percival and Heather, are really nasty characters. Also, this movie is packed with hilarious and crazy gags, even if some of them can be gross, creepy, and exaggerating at times. But, on the other hand, I think it will make you and your children laugh your socks off. So, I highly recommend this film if you're looking for a nutty and hilarious animated sequel to take your kids to. So, I give this film a 96% out of 100. Well, that's it for today, everybody. Be sure to join me again for my next blog as I take another week-long break to go on a little vacation to Hershey, Pennsylvania. Mustang Power!
Oh, nuts!